went to him and like they laid it out. It's like, this is what we're doing. This is the opportunity. This is the vision for the future. And I was like, holy crap. Okay. So this is real. This is a very big opportunity. Not only to be a part of Compass, but then to be a founding agent for Compass was a huge opportunity.
Yeah.
This is From the Ground Up, where we talk to entrepreneurs in all different industries and give you the down and dirty about what makes them successful. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button and check back every Monday as we drop new episodes.
Three, two, one. Oh my gosh, you guys, welcome back to Ground Up Podcast. Gosh, we haven't been here for 3-4 months, maybe.
No, I think it's been since March or April. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe May.
Yeah.
But we're here with Jessica Northrop today, and she was the one who got us back in here.
Yay.
So thank you. Yeah. Like you gave me the pep and the step I needed again, because we were at Polo Reserve.
Yeah, we were at the Polo event in the beginning of August.
Mm-hmm.
And I've gone maybe like 3-4 years, usually get a couple tables, have friends, clients, and then my kids come, my grown children.
The grown ones.
25 and 21, and we're walking around. My daughter is 25, and she's like, Mom, that's Shay. That's Shay from the podcast. Like,
funny.
so cute. She's like, Mom, no, she's got a podcast.
Oh
so
my God.
just like
that makes me feel so good about
so
myself.
there are, right?
With our 300 subscribers.
Yeah, we're hyping it right now.
I love it.
So she was the one who was like. And then obviously we came over and said hi to Shay from the podcast.
Such a celebrity.
Right? Totally.
Yeah.
Those are like my proudest moments though. My kids like, my kids' friends are like, I follow you on Instagram. And I'm like,
Yeah. You're like, thank you so
I'm
much.
so cool.
Yeah. But that made me feel good because I was like, oh my God, people listen.
Yeah.
You know? And maybe if it's just like not the whole podcast, but like the clips we put out, I'm like, shit, we're doing something right. And then I was like, all right.
So cute.
Will you be our next person on? And she said, absolutely. And then what did your daughter say to you?
This is so funny. We're here, but like last night, had the little teaser on Instagram, and like 9:30 at night, she screenshots it. She's like, "Really? You're doing this without me?" Like she was all.
She wanted to come.
She wanted to come.
You.
She was all mad. She's like, "You didn't tell me." She was like, "Hype me up." I was
We
like,
would
all
have
right.
been more than happy to have her on.
It would have been funny to have her on because I think the name of your podcast like suits me well, like Ground Up.
Yep.
Because I got my license at 18 years old.
Yeah.
And now that I'm 25. No, that was 30 years ago. And literally, Morgan, who is my 25-year-old, she was, basically her first words were my phone number, 303-525-0200. So she was like with me through this whole
good number.
Yeah, it is a good number. Can never get rid of
No,
that.
never, ever.
But, she'd be on my back. Like I'd be working at the computer 1 year old, just like looking over my shoulder. So she kind of saw the ground up too. So it'd be kind of cute.
I love that.
We just got to have her
day.
back on.
I want that for me. Like, what if 30 years from now, I'm like, Jaden's like, Mom, like, yeah. That'd be fun.
Do you think he would ever memorize your phone number?
No,
That kid
no.
is so ADD.
But I do remember because I was in Hawaii
Yep.
when you guys went to the polo event. She called me and she was like, Jessica Northrop, and I was drinking wine in the swimming pool. I was like, yes, let's get her on.
So cute.
Good. Well, we were happy to have you. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank
totally.
you.
So
cute.
just like we were talking about from the ground up, you just mentioned that you got your real estate license at 18.
Yeah.
So
Are you Denver
Just
native? Sorry.
How, why, like exactly.
yeah, like just
Right.
give us kind of like literally where were you born? Just get us
Sure.
to how you got to where you're 18 and you're like, you know what?
Sure.
Screw college. This
Yep.
is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which that was never the plan for sure. I grew up in Indiana,
Oh, okay.
Southern Indiana. I had 4 sisters. Like grew up like
Four sisters.
Oh yeah,
Poor dad.
5 girls. But he was all about it. He was like a little military guy. No, he wasn't military, but he treated us like we were in the military.
Yeah,
like
you have
get
to.
up,
Yep.
go run. Your sports. You do like all the things. Like we were the class president. We were the cheerleading, basketball, track, softball. Like you
Everything.
name it, and like we did it. Like pretty much. So always very, very active. When I was 17, the whole family moved west to Utah. So I was a senior in high school. And after that, I was kind of like, I graduated. I thought I was always going to go to college. That's always the plan. And it was kind of like I needed a pause. Sometimes you need a little pause. But my parents were like, well, you need to do something. And I literally pulled it out of the clear blue sky. I have no idea that we had no family in real estate. And I was like, I'm going to get my real estate license. but I literally had to get my real estate license and like go to work.
Yeah.
There wasn't like $20 or $50 or we're paying for all your things. It was
Right.
literally like I did go to work, for top producing agent at 18, 19 years old. Then I would move out and had friends and they would like go to college and we were sharing, an apartment or whatever. And then I would go to real estate, like go to my job and like do the whole thing. So it was like pretty interesting.
And so you didn't start as like an admin or a paper pusher, like you just went in straight real estate agent only, or how did you learn?
Yeah. So no, I learned from my first job was Matt Wathen.
Okay.
With GMAC, wherever you are. But like literally, I just went in and I was the assistant to a top producing agent. There was like barely, I hate to say this is like embarrassing. Can we like cut this part out, right? Like there's barely internet. It was like it was like dial up. I've been through faxing, scanning.
Yeah.
Actually, we started with just a contract.
Yeah. And the contract back then was probably like 2 pages.
No, white, yellow, and pink.
Yeah.
That we left behind.
Oh, yeah. And then you
so funny.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay. They're like, I think. Anyway.
That's funny because I feel like also the real estate world was so different 18 years ago.
Yeah.
Not just like technology wise, but just
30 years
30,
ago.
Oh, that's right.
1995.
30 years ago.
They're
But
like,
I remember, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I do remember, like, I really clearly remember this, but my parents had sold their first house around 1995.
Yeah.
And, like, the suit and the tie, and everybody, like, walked up with their briefcase. And it was just
like my first,
different,
it was like basically I'd go take pictures of the houses, get them developed, like actual pictures.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then I'd be like, oh, this house has like blue in it. And I would get blue cardstock. And I'd use, this is like embarrassing a little, but literally it was from back in the day.
This is great.
Like,
We want to hear about it.
So like glue stick it on and then deliver it.
It's hilarious.
So that's cute. Okay, so that was embarrassing. Let's move past that. I worked for top producing agents. Then I met my ex-husband.
Okay.
And he was from Colorado. And so in 1998, I moved to Colorado. So kind of had to start over when I moved here.
How'd y'all meet if you were in, because you're still in Utah at the
Yes,
same
and he
time.
was there too.
Okay.
That's where he was going to college, blah, blah, blah.
Got
and
it.
he was from here, so we moved back here.
Makes sense.
But I was still always kind of a student of real estate for sure. Like at that time, then I'd be 22. And then I moved here, got married, and then had Morgan right away also. So that was in 99, beginning of 99. But I was selling real estate. So I came here, sold real estate, but I was always kind of student of real estate, like going into coaching, Buffini, Brian Buffini. I did that kind of right away. So that was really probably the foundation of like building my business was that type of coaching.
Yeah.
And so, I highly recommend that. I think that starts to give you the structure of understanding like how to build a business, how to build a database. And that's, it's the basics I think that carry you even throughout your career.
Right. But I feel like you got in and said, I feel like you might have been one of the youngest real estate agents, like a lot of
Ever.
I was going to say, because all the real estate agents back then were a lot older men. And you're a younger woman coming into this. And so you learned from, top producing agents. And then you learned right away the skills from Buffini.
Like literally I would go and do door knocking.
You
once a
would.
month. So
Give it up to that.
Yeah. It was
Nobody's
a grind.
like, they don't even know what that is
Yeah.
anymore. They're like, you want me to walk around and knock on somebody's door. You know what? It's not even that anymore. It's like, you want me to pick up the phone and call somebody.
Yeah.
I can't send them an email and or a text. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Can we talk
Because
about we
because
talk about
that's
that
like
all
a
the time.
different market, and that's where if you got into real estate in the last 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, that's not a normal cycle. So people are just falling into your lap. That's not normal real estate.
It's not.
And so I've been through several of the cycles, and the reason you got a 12 or 6 month listing agreement is because it may take that long to sell a property, and it wasn't just 1 day, 2 day, 10 offers, whatever it may be. So different sales cycles for sure, but that foundation of like having to go out and what are we doing this week? How many people are we going to be in front of? Following up, sending thank you cards, having vendors,
handwritten thank you
notes.
cards?
Yes,
Yep.
always.
Okay, I have to ask this then. So the last 3-4 years we all know have been very, very tough. Do you think this is the toughest market you've seen in your career?
No.
No.
Oh, heck
what
no.
What is?
No. 2008, 9, and 10.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because some people are like, no, this is way worse than 2008.
Absolutely
And I'm
not.
like,
Absolutely not. No.
that was right when we were in college, though. That's right when we met, and we had no idea. But I've been in the business for 13. She's been in it for 8, and I was like, this market is in 13
for lenders,
years.
so for lenders, I think that has changed, I mean, and that may be a little bit different is the lending business versus, real estate, representation. It still is difficult for you guys. Your industry has changed so much, and you just don't have as much protection as we do, which is super unfair.
And there's just a new guideline every day.
It's constantly
That's like
changing.
you
New
can't do
guidelines, and I
this.
think people just shopping you over 10 cents, and up to after you were guiding them through 3 months of
heartbreaking.
calling
Don't
me
get
on
her started.
calling me on nights and weekends, having me walk you through, write you lender letters, and then they're going to go shop it. And I wish more buyers did the homework up front, and then there was more of a commitment. You should be protected, and your time should be protected. So that's super frustrating.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, no,
We
thank you
talk
for
about
saying
that. This
that.
has been a topic of our conversation.
It's,
the last
like
year
we'll
and a
work
half.
with credit repair clients. Like I have a tracker for everything. I have a tracker for your mom's name and age.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter. Like I will track you as a lead. And so like we'll stay on top of all these like credit repair clients, and literally 3 years later we've coached them through.
Yep.
And they can finally purchase. And then they go under contract and they shop you for like an eighth left of a percentage. And I'm like, where's the loyalty? Where's the love? But it's not about us. This is about you.
No, it is. That should definitely change. And so I think that's super frustrating. But 2008, the big difference between 2008, 9, and 10 and now is 2008, 9, and 10, there was no equity. So no one had equity at all.
Very
and here,
accurate.
it's like they want to sell it for a certain point, and we've come down, but they still have 50% equity. So they can still sell it and make money. 2008, 9, 10, they didn't have the money to bring to the table.
Yeah, there's skin in the game now.
That is a huge differential that we have right now. From 2008. It was very, very, very difficult market 2008.
Yeah.
So I want to rewind back to that. So you got here when you were about 22-ish.
Yep.
Now, what brokerage were you working for when you got here to
When I
Colorado?
got here, oh my gosh,
Tell me it was a Remax.
We literally don't even have enough time for this. I worked for, when I moved here, you're going to laugh again, I opened the newspaper
Hey.
and went like this, and there was a guy on it. He had a briefcase. It was like his whole body. And he was like...
In the suit and tie.
It was.
Yeah.
And he basically, I'm the top agent in Colorado, in Denver, and I sell a home every day.
Who was it at the time?
His name was Ryan Searle.
Okay.
And I was like, well, I'm going to go work for him. That's who I'm going to go work for. And so I called him up, and I was like, I want to interview. I was 22. He was 27 or 28.
Okay.
Really, really, really smart guy. I'm not going to get into the highs and wows of where he went.
Yeah.
But very, very smart guy. He spent a lot of money on marketing, and he interviewed me at 22, 23 years old to be his listing agent. So he sat in his office, and I went out because he had so many leads. I would go out. No, I was 23, and I was pregnant with Morgan. And so I would go out on probably 3 or 4 listing appointments a day, from Golden to Aurora to Denver to Littleton,
Hell yeah.
and do his listing presentation for him. He wasn't with me.
Yeah.
I would say, Ryan Searle's this, and Ryan Searle's this, and this is how we'll represent your property with a little flip book.
Yeah.
And then I would sign the listing agreement for 6.9%. And then I would sign buyer agency. And then I would go back to the office and give it to them. And that was the end. And then I would go on to the next one. And they had a whole system of so I probably would do 40 transactions in a 3-month period, 40 sales. So it was was like baptism by fire, because I had to learn to go present to people at a really young age, go into a lot of different scenarios, a lot of weird scenarios.
By yourself as a pregnant woman, too.
Oh, there's some things I should not be survived. I shouldn't have
Right,
survived.
like I was just gonna say that. So it was just you, and you would go into these people's homes
All over the
Is there,
city.
Like a crazy story you can give us, like the most wildest thing
my
that happened.
goodness.
We want to know though. I mean, this is from the ground up. We got to know how you're you now. So like, what's some
Bro,
what's
it's a
some
long
shit?
one. Can I
what's
say
some
bro?
shit?
I'm with you guys. I
Yeah,
can say bro.
come on.
No, I mean, I would be all over the city. There was no GPS, so I literally have a Diet Coke this big, have a map book,
Yes.
be driving like
Remember
this
when we would
with my
write
flip-
out
with
the
my-
addresses?
with my flip
Yeah.
phone. I'd be like up Golden Gate Canyon to literally 5 Points and everything in between.
Oh,
Yeah, and
you've seen it all.
I have literally seen it all. So that was I look back at that, and I'm really thankful for that experience, because
yeah.
it just taught me so much in a really short amount of time. So I worked for him, and then I had Morgan, and then we lived in Highlands Ranch at that time. Then I went to work for Better Homes and Gardens. They were bought out by Cool Banker. That was kind of a short stint, and then from probably 2002ish to 2010ish, I was at Remax.
Okay, so you did go to Remax. What, to kind of piggyback off of what Sarah said, when you were there in 2008, 2009, 2010 hit, What did you do to stay up, and how did you shift to stay above everybody else? Or
did.
with everybody else? Or just
It was survival.
survive.
And basically, when I was at Remax, that was when I was doing all the Buffini stuff and all the coaching and like 5 years of that and like really into it. And I feel like I was doing all the right things. And when 2008, 9, and 10 hit, kind of worlds collided to say probably, you know, professionally and personally, things collided. I went through divorce in 2008. The market was terrible. I had to support 2 kids.
Oh, so you had 2 kids at this time now.
2 kids,
Okay.
and I was kind of had to start over. So 2008, 9, and 10, super duper difficult. You and I were talking before we started. Just like, what'd you do this summer? You're like, I had fun. Like, I kind of like you get out. I was just like, this is hard right now, very difficult. I feel like I can't win, and I think at some point, probably about a year period, 2009, I was kind of like, I've done all the right things. I'm working so hard. I was doing short sales. I was doing whatever I needed to do to survive, but it was very, very, very challenging period. I got really good at tennis. I'd never played tennis.
I got really good at golf.
See? I was like, I went from a 2.5 player to a 4.0 player like pretty quick. So like I played a lot of tennis. Dated, you know, Match.com. I met my husband on Match.com.
When you did.
I did. Match.com. But
That's
this is back
amazing.
when it started.
Right.
Okay.
You know, dial-up. No, I'm just joking. No
Yeah.
dial-up. But it's like, this is when it started, so I think people didn't lie quite as much or, like, be...
Catfish.
That word, yes. And so
Yeah.
I was like, no, we were like, I like basketball. And he's like, I like basketball. And I was like, we're from the Midwest. We might get along. So that's that. And so Eric and I met in 2009. We got married in 2010. Really worst year, like, professionally was 2010, but best year personally.
Personally.
Okay.
So sometimes
good
that's
balance.
how the world has to turn in a way. And got remarried in 2010. I had my 3rd child, JT, in 2011. But that was like real estate. Were you still doing real estate? You're like, this is about real estate.
Yeah.
I was still doing.
No, we don't know. We want to know it all.
I know. Well, I was
Come
still
on.
doing real estate at that time, but again, I had to start over. So new name, new like everything, like, and I, you know, so I was doing some business, and I was like, well, what if I tried again? JT was about 1, like tried harder. Like I was still doing business, but what if I really like plugged back in? I didn't have to set the world on fire, but plug back in.
Yeah.
So that's when I went to Sotheby's. That was 2012.
Okay.
But then kind of when you plug back in, like people like, that's just who I am. Like when I plug back in, then I'm going to find a way. It's just like I'm competitive.
Yep.
I see other people doing things. And once I plugged back in those basics I had learned and done for so many years, it just naturally like doubled on, really 2013 to 2019, I basically doubled my business every year.
Every year.
Almost. Yeah.
What were like the basics? Like, what did you learn from Buffini, or what did you take to keep doubling your production year over year?
Yeah. Well, I think the basics of what it comes down when anyone ever says like, well, they want to meet with me and they want to say, well, I'll say, what do you do to be successful, or what are you doing? I'll say back to them, I'll say, well, do you have a database? And they'll be like, no. Usually, or they have, if they're trying to just get started, they haven't learned to like have a database.
Keep their
That's number 1.
contacts.
Keep your contacts and stay in touch with them. The consistency of that, and I'll say, who's your lender? Those are 2 things to start with.
Yeah.
Who's your lender?
Important.
Because you have to have that partnership to build off of your team. So
Yeah.
that your team has to be like, who's the lender, the partnership, and who's your database.
Right.
That's where you have to start. So it's really just doing the consistency of, staying in touch with your database, whether that through mailing, through face-to-face visits, through having client events, social media now, of course. Those were, the basics are always kind of the basics. You go back to, and you can always say, well, how can I amplify that? Now that we have social media, how can I take that to the next level, or digital ads, or digital marketing, or for me, in 2019 is when I launched Compass. There were 4 founding agents, and then building out that network. It's using that same foundation of meeting these agents across the country,
Right.
building out that referral business with them, staying in touch with them, and nurturing those relationships that kind of really took it again to the next level.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everyone
That's
we
huge.
talk to, everyone like all the big agents in here that do great. We've had some startup agents in here that are hitting the ground running, but everybody who's established and just is in the game and solid, they always say coaching. So you started with Buffini. Did you ever go to anybody else? And to double up on that question, I feel like there's a lot of people who want to be coaches now that are
Shouldn't be.
shouldn't be.
Yeah.
So how do you, You know what I'm saying. How do you choose?
Buffini was great for me because it was the consistency, and I did that for 5 years, so that was like really, really good. Then I stopped that, but I think always bringing back in, I've done ninja training, so Larry Kendall, which is great. I would probably, if someone were to come to me today and say, where do I go? And I did have an agent come to me about 2 months ago and wanted to work with me. And I said, okay, you're not ready, but you go and you do these things.
Yeah.
You build a database, you do these things, X, Y, and Z. And then I said, go and take one of Larry Kendall's ninja trainings for 3 or 4 days. And that's your foundation.
Right.
No one knows what to do. What do I do?
Yeah.
Consistently doing the things that's the same thing as Buffini. It's literally all of them are kind of the same with a different tweak on it. Did core training for, several years. And then right now we're with Tom Ferry.
Okay, so you switch it up.
Switch it up a little bit,
You're getting
here
a
and
good
there.
Taste.
It's kind of a lot of the same stuff. It's
Yeah.
just like a different, we're going to give it a go. So
Different coaches, different
We have a great Tom
perspectives.
Ferry coach right now. It's just a good check-in every week. We actually had it this morning, 8:30 a.m. before this. That's why I was in my car.
Nice.
But
It's all about accountability. I think majority of those coaching.
I mean,
are,
show up and do it.
Yeah.
Do your homework and
Yep.
and everything. So do you yourself now coach?
No. I mean,
No.
my team, I guess there's a little bit of coaching there. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Coaching is funny, and everyone, social media is fun.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah.
So before you get to Compass, you go to Compass in 2019. From when you had your
Yep.
son JT,
Yep.
you're building up, you're doubling your production every
Yep.
year from pretty much 12 to 19.
Yep.
How do you stay present as a wife and as a mother and have a personal life while you
Right.
are building
Right.
like that?
It's really, really hard.
It's so hard. I'm learning that really
You
hardly
guys-
right
yeah.
now.
And I probably have made mistakes along the way. So just throwing that out there,
Oh.
coughing to that.
Yeah.
I think my family, to some degree, we understand, we're work hard, play hard. And I am always kind of working. So it's kind of like work hard, play hard in a way. So I try not to miss things and be present, but I need to take a call really quick, or we're on vacation. I need to do a little of this over here on the side. I mean, I've literally been on sand dunes, with a helmet on, doing a contract. So I think it's work hard, play hard. I don't know that I have a perfect answer. I know that there's not balance. Sometimes my kids need me more. Sometimes my business needs me more. Sometimes my husband needs me more. I have a broad circle. I have a lot of family. I have 4 sisters. I have 20 some odd nieces and nephews. My mom and dad. So I think it's just doing the best you can. I try to fit it all in. I'm not perfect. I should say no more. Delegating, trying to delegate a little bit, but I should say no more. It's hard to say no, you know, and especially you guys are building your businesses and you have a family. It's hard to say no because you want the deal. You need the deal. You want to keep
I
building
don't
your
have
business.
a family. I
Well,
say yes too
but
much.
you know what I mean.
I do know what you mean.
Yeah. So it's that's hard to say no when you're building, but you do have to have boundaries. Even now I'm learning that. That's a lot of years later to still be learning that. So a lot of people are probably better at that than me.
Yeah.
And it's not only that, but it's just doing everything and then not hitting the burnout, right? The exhaustion and just oh my God, there's been weeks where it's just back to back to back to back things. And I'm it's too much, but it's not at the same time. It's just get up and go mode all the time. And you do what you do. You pivot and you do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
I mean, but with 3 kids at the time and a new husband, was your husband, you said his name is Eric.
Yeah.
Sweet. And we're still married to Eric?
We are.
Love that. Love you, Eric.
15 anniversary on October 2nd.
Oh,
Match.com.
love.
That's amazing.
Match.com. Girl,
love that.
I know, it was cute.
It's rough, but
It's
I'm
cute.
happy for you guys.
Yeah.
Was he a very big, okay, so mom of 3.
Yep.
Was he a really big support system and you going back to work, or was it kind of a struggle at first
I
of
think
duties?
Yeah, totally. I think the beauty of our relationship or how that all worked out is just truthfully is at the beginning of my career, it's like I had to grind out of necessity. It was like I had to do. You had to do. Had to do. Marrying him, some of that pressure was off. I think I said that originally. Like some of that pressure was off. Is that he was, he was taking care, of a lot of like financially. There was less pressure, and in some ways that probably could help me be a little bit more authentic, and in my business. But I think it's maybe been somewhat not a surprise, but it might. I mean, I was going to be a cute tennis mom.
I love that. I see it too because you're so well put together.
I was going to be
just
such a
see
cute
that.
tennis mom, and now I'm the grind mom. No, just joking. But
you could be both.
we're trying to be both. But real estate is like once you get going, it's a little kind of hard to get off the hamster wheel. And I do enjoy it, and I do love it. And I think having Eric as a partner who has supported, complemented that. Help me. He does a lot of like with JT, our youngest. The other two are out of the house now, so he does a lot of that. Maybe, I mean, I don't want to say mom stuff, but he does a lot of the carpooling. He does a lot of like stepping in that way, which helps because he has a job and he does very well in his job. Mine has different hours that are a little bit more can be challenging, and so he can really plug in, and he does that willingly. So that's good.
So just a good team.
Yes.
A good team all.
Yes.
Okay. So we go through this, you're building your business, 2019 hits. Were you approached by Compass? You said you're like
Sure.
the fourth founding. Like
Yep.
how did this come about? Because
Yeah.
Compass is massive now.
Right. Yeah. In 2009, it was like the end of 2018. That's when Morgan graduated, so I still had all three kids at home,
Okay.
and I was still in my little keep going, and they kept calling, and I'm like, I'm just like not gonna like, why are you calling me? Stop calling me! Stop calling me! And I had no intention of moving or changing or doing anything. And I remember I was on 925, and the guy Ryan Blakemore called, and he was like, I'm going to keep calling. And I'm like, you know what? It's good to know what your competition is doing. I'll meet with you. I didn't tell my husband, I didn't tell anyone. I was like, I'm not doing this, but I'll go have coffee with him and just see what is what. And I went to him, and they laid it out. It's like, this is what we're doing. This is the opportunity. This is the vision for the future. And I was like, holy crap. Okay, so this is real. This is a very big opportunity. Not only to be a part of Compass, but then to be a founding agent for Compass was a huge opportunity.
Yeah.
It was also extremely scary, and there was a lot of naysayers, and there was a lot of fear of like, you can't do it. It's a flash in the pan. This is not going to last. You need X, Y, and Z in order to, from this other wherever, to achieve what you're achieving. There were a lot of naysayers.
Was it just a gut feeling that made you go with it? Or because when people tell me no, I'm like, fuck. Then you start doubting yourself.
Yeah, but then we get recruiting calls all the time, and we don't give them the time of day either. So was it just kind of like a perfect storm of just like, I'm going to sit down and listen to what you have to say?
It was literally December 12th. And then I was like, to my husband, I was like, and I guess I was like, ugh, like, what do you think? Like, I need you to come with me. He came with me, actually, to listen to the second pitch from Compass.
Okay.
And it was like, you need to decide now. It's like now or never. But it's also when I started to hear, you can't do it.
Yeah.
You only can do this with this certain X, Y, and Z. Then you're going to light a little bit of a fire in me.
Yeah, don't tell me.
Don't tell me that.
Yeah.
And now, because I will prove you wrong. And I signed with Compass on December 22nd.
Amazing.
Around 8:30 at night before I went to have sushi with my husband. Actually, it was about 7:30, and I went to have sushi with my husband. I was sitting with my husband at 8:30 at night, and I got a call from New York. And I was like, "Who's calling me from New York?" Just put the phone down because it'd be 10:30 in New York.
Okay.
And then I leave, and I pick up the message. Hey, Jessica, this is Robert Refkin calling from New York. Wanted to welcome you to the Compass family. We're so excited to have you. Blah, da, 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 da. So that's the type of leadership that we have.
10:30.
And that's what's brought Compass from where it is at that time and even before, obviously, to where it is today, is that type of leadership. And that starts in New York with our CEO, to our regional, to our local leadership is, I think, second to none.
And they just had one of the biggest acquisitions.
Yep.
What did they acquire? It was it starts with an A. It was all over TikTok.
Anywhere, it's anywhere.
Social media.
It's
Oh,
the
that's right.
umbrella for,
That's
I think,
right.
Coldwell Banker, Sotheby's, Corcoran, and some other
Yeah.
brokerages.
But that
That's
just came out
huge.
yesterday.
That is huge. And Compass is known to be luxury too.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I know that you guys do everything for sure. And we know that you're more of a luxury agent now. Like, I know you've done a lot of mountain properties just everywhere.
Yep.
Did you start with, I mean, I'm sure you did, but like first time home buyers just grinding out and getting, how did you go from that to really positioning yourself to being a higher end agent?
Yeah. Oh, I still say to this day, big or small, we do them all. And because my database has been so important to me, I literally have people call me, Jessica, this is Dixie Hare. You sold me a house 20 years ago. I know you don't take my house in a house like mine anymore, but I'm like, oh, Dixie, yes, we do. Yeah. So yes, absolutely. Now it's hard for me because I have a heart for, that was my, that's where I built my business. And so I'm like, I love to go back. I love to help everyone. And I have maintained those relationships. So I know them. I know their kids. I know their families. And
you're probably starting to help their kids and their families.
Literally last year I had Molly Riedel, who is 5 years old, in the back of my car, and 2006 is now Molly Riedel, who's 29, getting married and bought her first house.
Yeah, I love that.
So it was like super cute.
See life full circle.
I call her Molly Riedel.
So cool. So you'll
cute.
still do them. You and your team will still do, like, you have a
Absolutely.
250 condo.
Yep.
You got it.
Right now, if it's a 250 condo, they should need to be renting it. Let's be honest.
The condos are rough.
They need to be renting that. Let's be honest.
Yeah, the condo's a tough one.
But I think you have excellence with the little, and you'll be given a lot. And so it's just like the excellence in every transaction to, over deliver, on your promises is what's going to get you referred to the next person, referred to the next person, referred to the next person. Yeah. I just had a listing up in Denver Country Club, and it was like totally redone, totally beautiful. I knew the property, I knew the owners. They wanted to get a premium price, but they had a premium property, and understanding that property, being able to sell, present the property and tell the story of the property so they could get that premium price. A lot of the agents, didn't believe in that. Too high price per square foot. But if you're able to present it and to explain the reason for that pricing because of the way that it was finished, the level of finish that it had, and we were able to get the highest price per square foot, which then got me 3 new listings. Because then they told all of their, so it's like believing in the property, understanding it. Sometimes you can't get it, so you have to. Yeah. But it's being able to understand and believe in a certain product, and then be able to present it that way.
And you're just educated, and you go in with knowledge and confidence, and I think that's what some newer agents are scared of these days, is because in this market currently, houses are sitting, and you take on kind of a different price range, but like, what would be your advice to agents who they know what the house is worth, but they just want to undercut it so they can get it, because we hear a lot of fear with that.
I would say they don't know what the house is worth.
Yeah.
And neither do I. Meaning that none of us know what the house is worth. The house is worth what the buyer is willing to pay. Right. It doesn't matter what you paid for it, what the amount of money you put into it. What is the market willing to pay for your property today? And that is in what you guys were around for COVID. It was the same for COVID. So you go into a property, what is it worth? Well, little real estate brains are 101. Right. What are the comps? What are the comps? Right. What are the comps? Right. That was not what the house was worth. It was what was the market willing to pay. And so we were going this way. Right? Yep. So we couldn't comp that. Now we're kind of going this way. What's the market willing to pay? The market is here. Right. And what I'm seeing a lot of are buyers who, even if we say, another great example would be a house for $185,000, and over the weekend we had offers start to trickle in. It'd be on the market, but 3 offers come in. The first one came in at
really at $185,000.
First offer came in at $170,000 because there were no other offers.
Right.
Okay.
Second offer came in at $180,000.
Right.
Third offer came in at $112,000. Right.
Right.
Then we go back and say, all right, well, now bring me your highest and best. Guess where they all came in?
185.
185. But they are going to test that market because they're going to see where the market is, what's going to win it. And I said full price or higher is what's going to win the offer, is what's going to win. And then where they all come.
Yep.
So even though they started at 150 low, because they're going to see what they can get if they're not competing.
Yep.
So that's pretty interesting.
When you go back and you say come back with your highest and best, do you give any type of hints where other people are, or
in that scenario, it was what I said back was what will win is full price or higher. Okay. So I told you. Yeah. Like I told you what would win. Right. And yeah. And that one did come back at 1,842. Why? Okay. Why? Because your first offer had an escalation to 1,862. And I'm like, that made no sense. And now he just called me. He called me. He's like, well, they're kicking themselves. Yeah. I literally told you what would win. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So back, Chad Nash, the absolute best. Jessica
Love him.
Friesenworth. I
Love
know.
him.
Oh,
Dr. Real Estate.
Dr. Real Estate. Yeah, he love you too. He's watching. Okay, so 2019. Sorry, I'm kind of jumping everywhere. So you start Compass with 4 agents.
Super scary. Yep.
How many agents are at Compass now?
I want to say 850. Yeah, market share, number 1.
How have you took it from 4? Because I know that you are a huge part of this. Like, what did you guys? That's only 6 years to go from 4 to 850 people. And Compass has a very, very, very good name.
I think it's just people wanting to be a part of the culture. You know, not only using the technology that we have, the leadership that we have. Like, we are leading the industry.
Yeah.
You know, Robert Refkin is leading as far as like on a national and global level, you know, the real estate in a lot of ways. I don't know of any other CEOs that are stepping forward like he is to protect real estate agents, to protect what we're trying to do, and consumers. So I think other agents just wanting to be a part of that. And just the culture and the collaboration at Compass, I feel is second to none. So that's what
We've
I've
heard that
experienced.
too, because
Yeah.
we've had, you know, we know a handful of agents who have left Compass and ended up coming
Coming
back.
back.
And they all say it's
Big ones.
technology,
Yep.
marketing, and it is
Yep.
the culture. You
Yep.
guys have worked really hard
Yep.
to build,
Yeah.
which is hard to do in real estate. I mean, how many real
You
estate
could
companies are there?
choose from so
Yeah.
many.
Well,
you
I've been
know?
at so many, kind of, and it's like really another big, powerful piece of it is being wholly connected, being one brokerage where I can, if I'm representing your property with the push of the button, I can expose your property to 38,000, 40,000 of the top agents across the country, or if I need to find an agent in Tennessee.
We just did that with Texas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever it may be.
Yep.
So
A
it's like
Compass agent
having,
helped us.
having that connection. It just is super simple, easy. You know, I can pull up the Compass app right now and say who's the agent who's doing the most in that area, or who's the specialist in X, Y, and Z city, and it makes everything so much easier.
Yeah.
That's that
It's
is
true.
so
And they
cool.
got we asked because we had a client who's selling a house in Texas. He was like, "Do you guys know of any agents down here?" We're like, "No, but hold on, let me reach out to a Compass agent."
Pinehurst, Texas.
Yeah,
A very
Pinehurst.
just
Yep.
specific.
Yep. And within probably 5 minutes, they're like,
Yeah.
"Here's the best person
Yep.
in that." And he
Super
was like,
simple.
"Thank you guys so much." Like,
Yeah.
so we helped him, even though
Yep.
you know, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, so come back to us.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, and you're killing. Now, do you
Yes.
have any inclination to take your foot off the gas, or do you just see you doing this for quite some time? I know it's a hard question.
Such a hard question.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, I think we're in a pretty good spot. In the last 2 years, you know, I have 2 agents now. I was always a solo agent.
Okay.
And for the last, I think it'll be 3 years in January that I have 2, you know, I would say peers that are on my team, Sarah Bangert and Brittany Morgan. They run their own lines of really strong business. And then we can just support each other. You know, maybe we would grow that a little bit. I don't know. You know, I'm not a great trainer, or I don't slow down enough probably to be a great trainer or teacher. So agents are running their own line of business, but we kind of have our own little Compass built out within Compass with our own kind of team of admin, which makes it kind of nice.
And I'm sure, if you wanted to, you could build a team really quickly. People would probably die to come work with you, by your side, and for you. Is
Right.
there a reason why you've decided just to keep it the 3 of you and just keep it
Yeah.
smaller?
I would assume.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just because of the trading piece of it.
Yeah.
I'm not like great at meetings and sitting through meetings and hosting meetings.
Yeah.
Same.
So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. That
But it's
could
working,
that
yeah.
could change. Right now, I think we're pretty happy. We have goals for next year and see where it takes us. No, I would love to be like part time in Arizona. Let's put it out to like the universe.
Yes. What,
in the
Scottsdale?
very new Paradise Valley. honey.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a good market.
Right.
That's a good market.
So, putting that out into the universe that would happen one day. JT is my youngest. He is in 8th grade. So 4 more years.
Yeah, 4
At least
years.
4 or 5 years here.
Yeah.
And we're happy. And all's good.
Get him through. So
Yeah.
your team is 3 agents. I want to talk about the support that you have, because you said, you will take
Yep.
just a little single family
Yep.
home. Who works at what type of help do you have?
Sure.
an
We have
admin
a
staff?
director of operations, Danielle.
Okay.
Sharadin, like Aladdin.
Shout out Danielle.
I know, yes. She's great. She's our director of operations, so she kind of keeps the ship running and fills in the gaps and assists me in a lot of things. Then we have our own marketing, in-house marketing, which is Elise Hartman. Okay. And Elise is Smarty Pants. She does all of our social media, digital ads, print, marketing, events. So, we have systems in place, so I can take on those and like we know what we're doing, and we have systems, we have timelines. We'll punch it out really, really, fast for people, very efficiently. So, after many years, you have a pretty good system, and then Sarah and I and Brittany can, pop in for each other if we need to, or if we go on a listing appointment and you need a little extra support or whatever it may be, we're there to do that for each other.
That's amazing. I have a question.
Go for it.
What kind of marketing things do you see the best ROI in? Is it your events, your client events, or postcards, or social media? Where do you think you get the most traction?
Oddly, probably about 8 years ago, I would have said like postcards, like randomly, like because it was just the consistency of doing that. But I think now we see a lot of traction in our client events are always good. Getting in front of people, which we love to do anyway. Our client events are always, a big deal. And I think it's just really all the pieces, consistently doing all the pieces, whether it be mailing, digital ad, social media, client event, consistency. People
Basics.
they want to just know you're always going to be there. You're consistently doing the same thing. They can count on you. I think it's just like that consistency of all the pieces. And I always have a business plan at the beginning of the year. Not that it gets like totally followed perfectly, but consistently doing those things and having them in place and trying not to sometimes we take breaks.
Yes, we do.
Right?
Yeah. Yes, we do.
But I think getting back to those things, it just is a consistency of that. Back to the podcast.
Back
them
at
on.
it. It's showing up. You just have to show
Yeah.
up for yourself.
What kind of events work the best for you? Because I think after COVID, it's been hard to get people to show up and get butts and seats. And it's like, you can get 50 RSVPs and 10 will show up.
Yeah.
We have pretty good luck. We love the things we have upcoming are a gratitude gathering. Which is we do that right after Halloween. We'll do a nice happy hour at like a Shanahan's, Perry's, something like that.
I'd show up to that.
Yeah, you're on the list. So gratitude gathering right before Thanksgiving, and then our big event is, which I love, I love this event is Pictures with Santa.
Yeah,
so we always do we have the same Santa who's like amazing. He comes down from the North Pole every year.
It's a real
He's
Santa.
so cute with his real beard.
Yeah.
We have reindeer. Actual reindeer, live reindeer
Where
who
do
are
you get
there.
reindeer from in Colorado?
The North Pole.
The North Pole.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
The North Pole.
It could be in Granby Ranch.
Yeah.
Showing up there.
The North Pole.
The North Pole. The North Pole.
Okay.
Sarah.
So I think like
I've never
making
seen
it a
a reindeer.
curated experience too, like making it a little bit more like fun and curated is always so like having the reindeer there. We do pictures, really nice food, giveaways, all that stuff. It's good old family fun.
And what families wouldn't show up to that?
Yeah.
Like every
or they
kid
bring
would
we say
go to
bring your
that.
pets. We have dogs show up. We have
Yes.
cats show up.
There
We have
you
everybody
go.
show up. Love to pair it with charity work. So we've done stuff with Dress for Success, where we do like a women's little happy hour and a purse drive. Bring an old purse that you have that can.
That's a good idea.
It's things that people want to do and want to show up to. I think we're not seeing a lot of butts and seats is what everybody else is doing.
Yeah.
Like trainings or a motivational speaker, it's like it's things that people want to do.
Yeah.
Like a Dress for Success, get your families involved.
You know what,
get a
though? I'm
photographer
going to even
there.
have a little bit more input there.
Yeah.
So when I started over, like go back to 2012, right? I had the little 2008, 2010.
Yeah.
It wasn't so fun. I felt everything was forced. Everything was so hard.
Yeah.
When I re-engaged and plugged back in, I was like, if I'm going to do this and like build it up, build again, I'm going to do it the way I want to do it. I'm going to make it like happy the way that do the things that I want to do.
Yeah.
Have my tennis team do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Do the things that I want to do and make it fun. And so if you're not feeling a connection to like where everything is feeling forced or not clicking, go back to like, what do I like to do? Who are the people I like to be around? And then build it out from there. And that's actually where I start to see momentum. And start to see things build a little more quickly and more enjoyable. Like
Because you
it's already
care.
hard. It's already hard.
Yeah.
But like, how can we make it a little bit more fun?
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
More fun. Funner. I made funner go into the dictionary.
No, it makes sense.
It is true.
I mean, and piggybacking off of these events that you do, you've also done some nonprofit work that we were kind of chatting about before we came in here. It's you're giving back in here, and tell us a little bit about that and what it is.
We were just talking about Giveback Homes. We have upcoming in October our annual Northrop Group Giveback Homes Build Day. So our commitment with Giveback Homes is a charity that we partner with that every home that we sell helps build a home for a family in need here locally in Denver, but then also in Central America. So we fund one build in Denver metro area per year, and then also one in Central America. So our build day in Denver is going to be in October. So a lot of times we'll have clients come to that too.
Yeah.
So any clients who want to come,
Just
shout
help
out.
build a home?
Help build a home.
That's
I
so
wanna do it.
Someday.
I've never
Yep.
done that in my life. I'm
Do you
37.
have
I've
to-
never
yeah.
like, you know,
It's so fun.
Habitat for
Really
Humanity or
get got
anything.
with
Yeah.
it. I mean,
Yeah.
do you
Yeah.
trust it? Like,
Well, interesting you say that because I would think I was 39 years old when I was introduced to Giveback Homes, and I was like, I wanted to do something like, and I was introduced to it through my managing broker at the time because he had gone to Central America, and I was like, that'd be so cool. So it was like September
Yep.
of 2016, and I was like, yeah, I'm really interested. He connected me with Caroline Pennell, who started Giveback Homes. She's like, listen, we have a build trip if you want to go. It's in December. It's in Nicaragua. I was like, signed up.
Oh,
We're going to have
fun.
like 16 agents from across the country. Just like, and I was like, all right.
All right. Let's do
I
it.
didn't know anybody who was going. I had never been to Central America. I had never
Yep.
built a home for anyone
Yep.
like that. And it was like a very life-changing, very cool experience.
Yeah.
And then to see
Humbling,
people
I would
humbling in that, you know,
And the infrastructure down there is so different, you know?
there is none.
Yeah, yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, yeah, it's
Yeah.
very-
Not
very
Yeah.
exactly.
So that was life changing. That's when I really started to commit to doing not only here in Denver, but the build in Central America. I've been to El Salvador twice since then. We went last year with our team.
That's
so our
cool.
whole team got to go. They brought their significant others, and I actually brought 2 of my kids. So that was really cool. Morgan and Bo got to go with us down there. So I just think it's, that's one when I'm feeling the burnout, when I'm feeling like, it's like that is where I can plug back in and really feel fulfilled again and like get filled back up. So
why do I do this for? Like,
Yeah.
what do I do it for? And you
Yeah.
said, in Central America, these people are living in little shanties that are just on dirt.
yes.
They're just on dirt. So you build things that get them
Off
off the dirt
Yep.
and
Yep, limit the disease, give them a roof over their head, windows, the rain's down there a lot. So just giving them that extra protection. And now, like when I went back to El Salvador for the second time, then I got to go see one of the houses we built, and they're so happy and they're so humble to come to show, let me show you our home. And they like take such good care of it and take your shoes off.
Yeah.
And it's like really, really beautiful to go back and see the pride that it brings to them. And I know, one of the things I struggled with is like, well, this is not changing the world. Like, this is changing, like, is this going to do anything? That's one thing I started to consider. And I was like, you know what? Even if it changes one person's life and one person's forever, then it's worth it. And it's one step for the next person to like do something better with the next
But it also
generation.
trickles down.
That's what I
if
mean.
you have a
Yep.
family who you helped,
Yep.
you don't know the web
Impact.
that it creates.
That's so
yeah.
true.
Yep.
How long does it take to build a home down there?
2 days.
What?
That's wild.
That's what I'm
Yes.
saying. Like,
I
if
know.
nobody knows how to build a home, like, do you have instructions?
Yes. No, that you go down. They have a whole
Yeah.
system set up. So we show up, we meet the family. It's literally we build on Saturday, build on Sunday, and then we come home on Monday. So it's a 4-day, really cool experience.
Is there plumbing down there? Or is it basically?
no.
Okay, so you are just
Outdoor.
really putting a roof.
Yes.
Okay.
a roof, and they have some running water, but it's usually like a hose. Like some don't have running water at all, but it's a hose. Like
Yeah.
it's not. They cook over an open flame.
I want to go down there. I want to go down
Yeah,
there.
that would be cool.
My son is obsessed on YouTube.
Yep.
He watches like the people who build houses out of like dirt or clay or
Yep.
like just
Yep.
out of nothing, and he
Yeah.
loves that.
Yeah.
Like, so
Yes.
I'm always just watching. I'm like, that's
Yep.
kind of cool.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to Giveback Homes. So if
Yeah.
anyone's interested, check out
That's
Giveback
amazing.
Homes. Check them out on Instagram or go to their website. But it's actually you guys could join lenders. They partner with lenders and with real estate professionals. So you
and
could
it's just
do the
giving
same
a little
thing.
portion of your
Yes.
commissions
Yes.
to go
Yes.
toward it.
Yes.
That is so cool. How does it work here in Colorado? Like, how long does it take to build a home here in Colorado?
So here in Colorado, Giveback Homes partners with Habitat for Humanity. So obviously that's a longer process,
Right.
But you can still fund an actual day of building with you and your team.
Yeah.
So there's a set amount of money that says we're funding this day. We're going to have 10, 15 volunteers show up, and there's a little more training in that. But I mean, I've done roof trusses last year. We've done landscaping, painting. All the things. Like we've done a lot of build days here in Denver, so kind of all the things. But they walk you through it, and it's a great day.
Right.
You're
Yeah.
fatty.
That would be
You're
fun.
fatty.
Yeah.
Well, I know I kind of asked like what's next for you, and you don't really know, but which is all kind of
Yeah.
the way to go. Just
Yeah.
take it one day at a time. But
Yep.
we're getting low on time here. Is there any thing you want anybody to know? Any leaving remarks
OG
for
of
anyone?
Denver.
You really
I'm a
are.
who would you?
An OG
You're an
of the
OG.
Denver real estate
She's like,
community.
you old girl.
You
Original gangster girl.
What do I want anyone to know about? I think if it's like real estate related, is if you're struggling, just go back to the basics, get a game plan for each week, set on Sunday, what am I going to do? Get a mentor. So if you can't afford coaching, or get a mentor, get somebody you can partner with. It is a great business. It's a hard business. You guys know that.
Yep.
But it's a great business. And, I'm proud to be in it. I guess I'm proud to be where I am today. And
You should be
be.
very,
Yeah.
very, very proud.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's been a grind.
yeah, you're
No,
a baddie.
no.
Well,
Okay.
shout out to Miss Morgan. Morgan, thank you for getting us back into the podcasting. Thank you for actually watching and caring.
She
And
says
thank
she
for
says
getting
you
on
have to give
here.
her a shout out. Injected by Morgan.
There you
there
go.
we go.
See, there you go. We got to do it without you even asking. Morgan, thank you. Jessica, thank you for coming
Yes.
on here. I know that we're going to see huge things from you.
Yeah,
and
no, I appreciate you guys.
yeah.
I'm honored.
Oh, you're
The
so
two
sweet.
blondies,
Not
the
the- not the
cutest. Yes. Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yes.
big things ahead for you. And,
Yeah.
and thank you for being on. We appreciate
All right,
you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening. This is From the Ground Up. Make sure you hit like and subscribe, and check back next Monday for the next episode.